What's up everybody, I'm Scott from Stringjoy Guitar Strings, and today we've got a short video for you talking about how humidity affects your guitar. We're going to talk about what the ideal humidity is for your guitar, what can happen if you get too much humidity, and also what can happen if there's not enough humidity. As the seasons change, this is always a constant battle, whether you're inside your house or you're taking your guitar out to band practice or out to gigs. In any case, you want to be smart about the humidity to ensure that you don't have any damage to your guitar. So to cut to the chase a little bit, the ideal humidity for any guitar, whether it's electric or acoustic or a bass, is almost always going to be somewhere between 40 and 55%. The classical number that I always used to hear is 40 to 50% as the ideal range. I know Taylor Guitars and a few other acoustic manufacturers actually say 45 to 55, so for today's purposes we're just going to say somewhere between 40 and 55. Probably the closer to the middle of that scale you can get, the better off you're going to be. So if you've been a guitarist for long, you've probably heard about the dangers of having not enough humidity for your guitar. Having not enough humidity can cause your wood to dry out. If it's extreme, that can lead to your wood cracking. It can also cause your neck to bow a little bit, giving you really high action. Disproportionately, this tends to affect areas of the guitar that are unfinished wood, so fingerboards are a really notorious place to see cracks. The inside of acoustic guitars are another really common place, but it can affect any part of your guitar ultimately. So if you've been playing for a long time, you've probably heard a lot of horror stories about all the bad things that can happen to a dried out guitar, whether it's cracked fingerboards or whole cracked bodies, things like that. But some people actually overcompensate because they're so afraid of having their guitar dried out that they end up having way too much humidity on the guitar, and that can cause its own sort of problems as well. In the presence of too high humidity, wood will actually expand. So if the humidity is just a little bit too high, you might start to notice things like your action lowering, or you're getting a lot of fret buzz or things like that from your fingerboard actually expanding a little bit. If it goes too much, you can actually even end up popping glue seams on the body of the guitar itself, which I don't need to explain why that's not a good thing. Just like with guitars that are too dry, it's usually the unfinished parts of the guitar that are affected the most often by having too much humidity. But again, if a guitar is in too much humidity for too long, it can affect just all different parts of the guitar. The best way to ensure that you're on the safe side of this is to have a quality hygrometer or other means of determining how much humidity your guitar is encountering on a daily basis. Things like sound hole humidifiers are really good so long as you don't overdo them. If you do have too much humidity, things like silica gel can help, but again, you want to monitor it so that they're not overly drying your guitar out. The trick, like all things, is just to ensure that you're paying attention. You don't have to obsess constantly, but you want to do your best to ensure that you're somewhere between that 40 and 55% range with all of your guitars, just so you don't have any circumstances where you might encounter damage. It is worth noting that things like fingerboard conditioner can be really good to ensure that you have enough moisture in your guitar's fingerboard and aren't going to see any cracks there. But at the same time, if you have an acoustic guitar or a hollow body, you're not going to be able to get any conditioner onto the inside of that guitar anyway. So the best thing you can do, again, is to just cut it off at the source and ensure that your guitar is around the right amount of humidity. So what do you think? Do you pay really close attention to your guitar's humidity? Is it a thing that you haven't really worried about up to this point? Have you ever had any damage caused by too much or too little humidity? Let us know down in the comments, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with more great stuff in the future.